Let us now look at a few examples of technology-enabled education from around the world. Let's begin with Pratham, an India-based non-profit organization tested a computer program that presented math questions in an arcade game-like format and found that when students used it for 2 hours a week, it had a considerable positive impact on math test scores. Imagine learning math in a traditional classroom. The teacher does some examples on the board with or without input from the class, and then assigns the horrible exercises from the textbook, and the students work in isolation. They may get it right, they may get it wrong, the teacher may facilitate, help, depends on the number of students in the classroom, the time period of the class, and how much assistance the teacher can give. But when the same math concept can be taught in a gamified manner, in an arcade game, if you play games, and we all do, you know what arcade games are. So students began in this particular program to learn math through games. And the results showed that the test scores markedly improved. This shows that when we have technology-enabled education, our students can do better. Because let us understand and realize this is their world. Those machines, those gadgets, those buttons are what they enjoy working with. Why not bring all that wonderful stuff into our classrooms and help them learn? This is an example from a math class. You could do the same for language, for science, for social studies. All you have to do is to find a game or create a game or have somebody create the game for you. And today, there are lots of sources that will create these things for you at nominal cost. So, education needs investment. Let us not invest in textbooks. Let us invest in digital means of trying to get our students to do better in our classrooms. Similarly, there are various other initiatives and organizations like the Mind Search Institute's ST Math that are leveraging technology to make learning fun and interesting for students. No matter where you look, when you look at these gamified ways in which to teach, all you're looking for is learning fun and learning is interesting. When learning is fun and interesting, students are hooked into learning. We play games for hours. Students play games for hours. Imagine if we could, through the games, teach them math, science, history, geography, languages, and other stuff. It would help make their learning much more interesting, much more fun, and they would remember it longer than in traditional settings all the time. Technology is also transforming the one-size-fits-all approach of instruction into a personalized learning experience of self-paced education where the availability of resources allows students to absorb information at their own pace. Because a game will progress depending on your skill, on how fast you can move those buttons, students move through a game at their own pace. Yes, there will be students who will do it faster than others, there will be average movers, and there will be slow movers. But they are still learning in an interesting manner. Even in a traditional classroom, we always have had kids who would finish the exercises and work fast, some average, and some slow, who the class period would be over but still would not be done with the work. In a technology-enabled classroom, when classwork is not done, the students can pick it up outside the classroom at their own pace, at their own time, even at home. So, we need to make sure that students are moving along at the pace that is comfortable for their own learning needs. For instance, a student can revisit a complex concept in a Khan Academy video, empowered by the ability to pause and repeat as necessary. This can make all the difference to those self-conscious about asking for help. In a real traditional classroom, students are hesitant for asking for help, and there is no rewind button. So the teacher may have said something, may have lectured for 10 minutes. You may ask the teacher to repeat, but the teacher is not going to say the same thing because hopefully he or she has not memorized the lecture. In a technology-enabled classroom, what this helps with is the student moves and can repeat a lecture, a talk, a demonstration, a simulation as many times as he needs to in order to understand it for himself. That is the beauty of technology-enabled education. You can repeat, you can go back, you can move ahead, you can stay on a topic for as long as is necessary for you to understand the topic completely and be able to do something with the knowledge, information, content, skills that you have now gained.